Assignment 3, Video 9. In this video, we'll take a look at creating the different profile views and profiles of the existing ground along the 3 different alignments that we created for the 3 different streets. To do that, we go up to the Profile pull-down menu, go down to Create Profile from Surface, and click on that. We have Faraday Road alignment, so make sure that's selected. Select the existing ground for the surface you want to add, and then simply click on Add. After that, go down to Draw in Profile View. Clicking on that opens up this dialog box. We won't change anything for the alignment or the profile view name. The profile view style will keep like that. Profile view, we'll start with that, but I do want you to rename it or copy the current selection. Under the Information tab, we'll delete the copy. We'll call it an A3 space dash space prefect. Then we'll go to the graph. We'll keep everything the same here. Vertical scale being 1 to 100, horizontal being 1 to 1000. Therefore, the vertical exaggeration is 10 unit or 10. We'll go to the grid. We'll clip the vertical grid and the horizontal grid, and we will clip it to the highest profile. The grid padding to the left will be 0, to the right will be 0, above will be 0.5, and below 0.5. Under the axis offset, we won't change anything here, so we can simply go to the Title Annotation tab. Under this right here, text style will be standard, that's fine. Text height 5, that is fine. Content, that is fine. Title position we want on the top. Justification center is fine. The Y offset being 20, that's fine. We want to put a border around the title of 5 millimeters. Now we take a look at the axis title text, so the one on the top. We'll take a look at the different settings. So the text style can stay standard, and the Y offset can stay at 25. Now there might have to be a couple of adjustments made, but we'll have a look, see what it looks like. So I think this and this might it might overlap, but we'll see. So we go to the left and the right and the bottom. So these control the different axis titles, and I think we'll just leave all those the same for now. Actually, the top one, I'm going to go back to the this title position right here, because I think with this top axis title being an offset of 25 and this being 20, might run into a problem there. So I'm going to switch this one to 30. Switch this one to 30. Keep this one at 25, so hopefully there will be no overlap then. Let's take a look at the horizontal axis. In this right here, the interval for the major ticks at 20 is fine. Let's say the tick size should be 2, the text height should be 2, and this takes place for the top axis. The tick label text, we have to click on this to open up the properties for the text itself. Precision we want to be to 3 decimal places, but we want to also drop the decimal for whole numbers. Send the changes over. Click on OK. And then the text style standard is fine, rotation is fine. Now the minor tick details, intervals 5. Let's switch the text size here to 1. Tick justification center, text height, we'll switch this to 1.5. Tick label text will also change in a similar fashion so that it shows the precision to 3 decimals. and drop the decimal for whole numbers. Sending it over, clicking on OK. So that's for the top, and now for the horizontal geometry tick details, we'll set this one to 2, text height to 2, and the tick label text, similar to the other one, should be 3 decimals, and drop decimal for whole numbers, and send it over. Click on OK. So that's for the top. We have to repeat those steps for the bottom. So tick size, I believe this was 2, this was 2, and switching this precision to 3 decimal places and dropping the decimal for the whole numbers. Send it over, click on OK. That's for the major. For the minor, intervals 5, that was fine. This was, tick size was 1, text height I believe was 1.5. Then we switched the setup and the properties. So precision 3 decimals, then drop decimal for whole numbers, send it over, click on OK. And then again for the horizontal, I believe this was 2, this was 2. Three decimals, drop decimal for whole numbers, send it over. Oh, I forgot to highlight this. So if you forget to highlight it now and then delete the old one. So when you select this, it should be precision of 3 decimals and drop decimal for whole numbers. Okay, clicking on OK. So this takes care of the horizontal axis. Now we look at the vertical axis. We'll take a look at the major tick details will be every meter. Tick size will be, let's say, 1. Text height we can put to 3. Tick label text, when we click on this, precision to the nearest 0.1. Send it over, click on OK. And this is for the left side for the major. Now for the minor on the left hand side, interval here will be half. Tick size will be half. Let's see, won't change anything here. Tick label text also to the 0.1 precision. And everything else is fine. Now we'll take a look at the right side and do the same thing. Intervals every meter. Tick size will be 1 millimeter. Height will be 3. Tick label text to the 0.1. Everything stays the same. Minor. Interval is going to be half. Tick size will be half. Text height, I don't think we changed. And the tick label text to the nearest 0.1. Send it over, click on OK. So that takes care of the vertical axis. Now we take a look at the display. Now the display itself, first of all these should be on the profile view layer that you've created. And if you haven't, you can create one here. Not the visibility. So we'll adjust the visibility afterwards. First we'll turn everything on. We'll go to the layer and we'll make sure that it goes on the correct. This is profile view that we're creating. Click on OK. So it puts it all onto the profile view. Then we will take a look at which layers to turn off and on. So going from the top, graph title we definitely want on. Left axis, the title for that. The major, we want, this is the annotation. The left axis annotation minor, we'll shut that off for now. But the ticks major and minor are on, so we're going to mirror the same thing for the right side. So the right axis is on, title's on, the major annotation's on, and the minor and major and minor ticks are on. Then we'll look at the top axis. That's on, title axis major, but the minor will switch off. Top axis, ticks major and minor keep on. Do the same thing with the bottom axis. Turn off the annotation for the minor. For the grid, horizontal major and minor will be on, and the vertical major and minor will be on. Grid at horizontal geometry point, that's on. Top axis annotation, that's on, that's on, that's on. So those are fine. Bottom axis annotation on. This grid at sample line stations off, and the profile hatch will keep on for now. Okay, so that's the display. Okay, let's see. Expand it out, you can see which ones are on. So just the minor annotation, it looks like, for all of them, plus the grid at sample line stations. So we'll take a look at how that looks, and then we will click on Apply. And OK. What that does is our profile view style is now set to A3-profile view, profile view layer. We have to switch to the profile view. Click on OK. Click on OK. So this is set in there. Now that takes care of the general. In our create profile view, there is station range, profile view height, profile view display options, and data bands. So all the station range, we can leave it automatic. Profile view height, leave it automatic. Display options, that's what we want to display, the existing ground, so that's fine. The data bands, it'll show up on the bottom, and we'll leave that on for now, and we won't change anything there. Profile hatch options, we won't change anything there. So the last thing to do is finally create our profile view. After clicking on this right here, AutoCAD will ask us to specify a profile view origin. For that, I want you to put basically 500 units below this point here, below the 1,000 point. So it will be 1,000, 500 for the location of the Faraday profile, and we'll hit enter. And what happens is this location here, Faraday road profile gets printed up. So we can see what it looks like. We can see the different stations at the top, the elevations on the left and the right side. Okay, so this will end video 9. It's pretty long right now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to in the next video I'm going to adjust some of the settings for this profile view.